Good afternoon. Crooked here, slightly crooked. There we go. Josh with the Ben Fund. How you doing? We're gonna be hanging stuff. You know what I'm saying? So if you jump in here, feel free to say something, speak what's on your mind. Maybe have a question. That would be nice. Otherwise, just me talking. You know how I do. No, you don't, because I'm the only one that's here with you. Which one's women's over here? Yeah. So we have it's situated. It's like uncomfortable. I want to get to a process 410 on this. We're hanging up some old stuff here today. It should have been up such a long time ago. Also, check out the sweet gear. This is black on black. Ben Wallace, Detroit Pistons. Technically, this is vintage now. Also, it's completely destroyed. You can't even tell what number it is, what team it is, and the name on it. So there's that. I've had this bad boy for quite a long time. I bought it new from the mall. I don't remember what store it was in the mall. Probably Champs, if I had to guess. Champs. There's really two choices. At that particular time, it was Champs and Foot Locker. And I am not a huge fan of the Foot Locker location, so probably Champs. Also, we had Journeys. Journeys, but that definitely didn't have shoes that I was looking for. Well, I guess they had Tim's. Tim's would have been cool. I never had Tim's. Did I? Yeah, I did. That's a lie. I did have Tim's. I did have Tim's. I forgot about that. That was back when I had my first apartment. I had some tan Tim's. And I went out and got a long sleeve shirt one time, Timberland shirt. That was also tan. And those went together, and then I tried to take a step further and get a fitted hat. I went to what was it called? Hat World, I think. I'm not sure. I tried to get a hat that seemed to match with it, but guess what? It was a dark color. Did not match them at all. Wheat is the style, right? Wheat. It wasn't that. So wheat is the regular style, and guess what style the hat was? It was rye. So those two things don't go together at all. But I knew that the fit had to come together, so I went ahead and bought it anyway, even though it matched not at all, and it didn't match anything that I actually owned. So that was just kind of a dumb thing. Ah, yes, excitement of being a young person. A young person. Look at this. You see this? See how fancy that is? You know how we did that? If you didn't watch the other videos, which I know you didn't, this can turn into that. And then I got the pink plastic chain plastic chain that I cut up into pieces. Actually, okay. So this is my first rendition of this. This, you hear this? This is actually, what do you call it? Furniture chain? No, that can't be right. Like if you were to hang lights outside on your porch or something. Furniture chain? And that was what we came up with. My mind felt like it was in the right, heading in the right direction. It wasn't exactly what it was supposed to spit out. Yeah, if you had a big lantern or something you wanted to hang outside. What is the term? Why can't I think of it? I don't know. Don't know. Is it important? No. So anyway, that was the first thing that I bought. I'm like, all right, how can I get something that I could use to hang these items up in a way like this where they come down so I can, save a lot more space that way? That was the first thing that I came up with because it seemed to be way cheaper than they're called magic hangers. And they're like they're metal and you can fit. I got some over there. I'm not gonna go get it though. You can fit six. They got six spots basically on it. The problem is they're like $2.50 a piece, right? And I have thousands of items, so that was like a cost that just didn't make sense. Just didn't make sense. So I had to think about, all right, well, how could I do this so it does make sense? This was a step in the right direction, right? It was like 20 to 30 bucks for that, and it was like a 50-foot roll. And those numbers are atrocious actually when you think about it, but I was like, I gotta try something, just see if it works. And it did work. But it's inconvenient, right? You gotta use, it's like coated stainless steel, so you gotta use a bolt cutter to break the link off and get them in the size that you want. So very inefficient for price and usability, right? So then we moved on to what I used. The last thing I bought is I got a spool of plastic chain, right? Same kind of chain that if you go to a movie theater or something and they got like a section blocked off so you don't walk down it. It's that same kind of chain. And guess what? That is really efficient for price. And you can just use basically plain scissors to cut them into length. So, and it can hold up a lot. It's like 20-pound test, right? So that was definitely more efficient. Now, I am currently running into a spot here real soon where I need to buy more of that. I would really rather not, though, have to hang them up like that. It's kind of annoying, to be honest with you. I mean, sure, it's nice, and the thing is, if you do the whole side like this, there's like a gap in between it, and you can actually, and if the other side is done like that too, on the other side of the rack, you can actually reach through and grab something easily from the other side, and you can, you can turn it and you can read the logo and whatnot. All right, you see the logo on the button, or just pull it down and see it there and the size. So it's actually really nice when they're all hung up like that for that reason. So I could be in this row right here and reach over to the other side without having to walk around to it. So I do remember that. That's kind of a dope thing, to be honest with you. I ran out of chain, and so what I started doing But I just hang the first two like that. And what that allows me to do is hang up the rest of the items and it'll all fit on that one side, on that side of the cart. But if all I need to do is order some more chain, I guess I should just do that. It's cheap. It comes Amazon Prime, so basically next day. Really no reason I don't have any. You know what I mean? I know what you mean. Got to figure out a more effective way for the hooks too. I found some metal hooks, on Amazon, and it doesn't, the price is kind of dumb. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. And I found a really cheap method that fixes that problem, and that's zip ties, right? I could put a zip tie around the loop of the chain, and it will hold it right here. And that's cool and it's fast, but the problem with it is eventually this cart's going to sell out, and I'm going to slide them down or move them to a different location or whatever. And in that case, you got to cut the zip tie and then put another one on. So that's just kind of it's cheap, sure, but it's quirky and it's kind of annoying. And then you cut it, and then you got pieces of zip tie all over the floor. Thought about going back to the box method on the storage racks because, well, I could stack them things up pretty high in here. The ceiling above me is a good. I got these ducts here. That's actually pipe, not duct. And that's like at least 10 feet up, right? And I could fit a lot of stuff in that space. If I took the space that I have wide and long, and then that'd be great. But the problem is then I have to get a bunch of stools or step ladders, and you're up and down every day, up and down, up and down. And the most annoying part is that method. You got to put everything in a poly bag, and you have to label everything. And it's just that's annoying. And whenever you do the label method, you also have a problem where you just have a lot more problems with the listing, right? Because I go into the listing and I actually type in the label for each item in that case, and it's very easy when you're trying to go fast to just have a typo, or you just read the number wrong because you're going fast. Like for instance, I used to go box 1, item number 10, right? So I would take this pair of pants, wrap it up into a poly bag. On the poly bag, I would write Kirkland, and I would put 1-10, and that let me know that this is item number 10 in box number 1, right? And you'd just go in a row, box 1, or item 10, item 11, item 12. So when I did it that way, I actually had a piece of paper, and I would sit down and I would, every item that was going in that box, I wrote it down. And then I wrote down, like Kirkland's signature and then whatever size it was on it too. So that way I had a nice, neat ledger that showed me, what was done that day, what box it went into, what item number it was. But again, you have a problem of when you're doing it fast, you make mistakes. And when you go to pull an order on a mistake, it may say box number 2, item number 27. and it is actually, box 22, item number 27 or something like that. So, you know, that sucks. If you're looking in box 2, it's not in box 2. And you keep going in each box and looking for item number 27 and it ain't that one. That sucks. And then you got to go back and so you go to the item and see when it was listed, right? And then you go into the store and look at that date and see what boxes you were working on. And then you go, aha, this isn't box 2. It's supposed to be box 22. Right? Anyway, it's just a headache to do it like that. Much rather prefer this method where when I list it, I just copy and paste in the SKU the date that it's going into the store. And that way, if so this particular day, 410, everything that got listed that day or got into a queue that day has 410 on it, right? So on that Saturday or that Sunday when it actually drops into the store, it'll be a different day than 410, but I'll still know that this is from 410. I do apologize. That's a lot of racket. Anyway, the problem with this method is every single day I have to go and build a cart for $30. I think that's what it cost me roughly. Takes me an hour to build it. That's how I got a little bit behind, because once we moved here, there was a couple days that I still was getting listings up, but the things weren't hung up. Next thing I know, I got like 8 days that need to be hung up, and I'm like, oh crap. I'm not gonna sit there for 8 hours and build carts just to catch up. Nope, because you still got to source, you still got to do photos, you still got to get the listings up. So I can't sit there for a whole day and build carts. I do think though that if I just purchase a bunch of wood at one time and then just cut them up in their sizes beforehand, then when I go build the carts, I can be much more efficient with the time. Maybe even be able to crank out 2 in an hour, right? I think if all the pieces were cut and they were ready to go, I probably could do 2 in an hour. And if that's the case, well, that's not so bad at all. That means I could knock out, knock out 2 every day, have them all done. That'd be dope. That would be dope. I remember when I first started building these carts, sucked pretty bad at it. Take me like, oh goodness. I definitely don't remember the first time. But I know shortly after that, I tried to build 2 carts in one day and it took like 5 hours. Wasted my whole Sunday on a weekend messing around with them carts. I learned a lot of things since then. It's definitely much faster, much easier, much better, streamlined process. Streamlined. Right? We just realized that it actually would be even better if we just cut all the wood to the exact length. the exact length and have it ready, it'd be even more fast and efficient. It's all about efficiency, right? When I'm sitting here talking on this camera, I hang up these clothes really slow. I can see I'm at 20 minutes already. It's definitely because I'm talking. 'Cause I know that I can do this if I'm not talking about 12 minutes. That's pushing it though. That's getting the juice, you know. I think 14 minutes is probably the average. Me cranking through and just knocking it out. It's obviously more if you got a big box like that. That's annoying. One time I bought them and they were all nice and neatly stacked on top of each other like this. You know, you could just easily reach in and grab one. They didn't get caught on each other. Pretty sure there's only, well, maybe the first couple orders are like that. I know it was like that though. I do remember that. I bought these from the same vendor, and now when I open up the box, it's just kind of all crazy, which is annoying. Also, we're getting to the point where I don't actually have to keep buying these all the time because we sell a decent amount every day. And half of the day's worth of hangers I need, I get from the items that are sold. So there's that. Well, that completes this day. Now I'm going to pull all the items that sold. Get ready to go get the young lad from school, and that'll be it, I guess. Maybe I'll make another short video tomorrow. So thanks for stopping by. Peace.